September 11th, 2001, rocked the United States to its core, igniting fear and a fierce resolve to prevent another tragedy. Just 45 days later, Congress passed the USA PATRIOT Act, a sweeping law sold as the shield against terrorism. In the wake of 9/11, most Americans supported it, desperate to ensure no attack would happen again. The war on terror demanded action, and no cost seemed too high. But beneath the promise of safety, this law sparked a surveillance revolution. From your phone calls and bank records to your DNA, it handed the government unprecedented power, often shredding your privacy and freedoms in the process. So how did a 137-page law pass with barely a whisper of opposition? I'm Ryan Sahlberg, a retired Marine Corps infantry officer and combat veteran with deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. I have been studying history for decades, starting at the Citadel and continuing to this day. In this video, we'll dive into the Patriot Act's most controversial provisions, the brave voices like Ron Paul and Russ Feingold who fought it, and why its shadow still looms over us in 2025. Hit that like and subscribe button, and let's dive in. September 11th, 2001 wasn't just a tragedy, it was a wake-up call. The attacks killed nearly 3,000 people, exposing America's vulnerabilities. American citizens demanded action, and the government responded with a war on terror. Fear gripped the nation, and no one wanted another 9/11. Then came the anthrax attacks in October 2001, targeting senators and media, killing 5 and infecting 17. Capitol Hill shut down, staff worked in chaos, and the message was clear. More attacks were coming. Attorney General John Ashcroft warned Congress to act fast or risk another catastrophe. In response, Congress delivered the Patriot Act in record time. Introduced on October 23, 2001, the House debated it for just 40 minutes, passing it 357 to 66 the next day. The Senate followed on October 25th, voting 98 to 1 after minimal debate. Bipartisan support was overwhelming, Democrats and Republicans united, driven by fear and urgency. To rush it through, Congress suspended normal rules. The House used a suspension of the rules, slashing debate to 40 minutes, banning amendments, and limiting opposition, silencing voices like Ron Paul's. The Senate pushed for unanimous consent, cutting off debate and amendments, leaving Russ Feingold's objections unheard. Critics called it a sham. Lawmakers barely read the bill. The Patriot Act wasn't just a law, it was a power grab. We're not going to cover every provision affecting Americans today, but let's go over the big ones that turn your bank records, personal info, and communications into government tools, often with little evidence. Section 215 let the FBI get FISA court orders for your phone records and emails, with just a quote-unquote relevance claim with no real evidence. It scooped billions of records, shredding privacy and profiling Americans. Section 213 added what was dubbed sneak and peek searches, letting agents search your home without telling you, further violating due process. Section 214 made FISA warrants for metadata like call logs and email headers easier to get, needing only relevance, not hard evidence. It tracked your communications, violating privacy. Section 218 lowered the FISA standards to, quote, significant purpose, end quote, for foreign intelligence, letting the FBI monitor Americans with little evidence, eroding privacy. Section 314 forced banks to share your financial data with a bureau called Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, also known as FinCEN, creating over 2 million suspicious reports. Your bank records became spy targets, eroding privacy. Section 326 made banks collect your name, address, and social security number, verifying and sharing it with the feds. No consent was needed, fueling surveillance. Section 505 unleashed what is called national security letters, secret FBI subpoenas grabbing your bank and phone records without a judge. Over 192,000 NSLs were issued, crushing privacy and free speech. Section 802 defined domestic terrorism broadly, so your protest could be a crime. It greenlit surveillance and profiling of Muslim Americans, boosting federal power. Section 805 criminalized, quote, material support, end quote, to terrorists like evidence or money, even unintentionally. It jailed Americans for speech, profiled communities, and expanded FBI surveillance. Not everyone rolled over for the bill. There were pockets of resistance. Representative Ron Paul, one of 3 Republicans to vote no in the House, called the Patriot Act a civil liberties disaster. He warned that 215's data grabs and 505's secret subpoenas would shred privacy and empower the feds beyond the Constitution, profiling Americans unjustly. His 2005 essays predicted the surveillance state we'd become. The Senate's lone no vote was the biggest Democratic opponent. He proposed amendments to limit 215's bulk collection and 505's gag orders, fearing privacy losses, due process violations, and profiling of Muslim Americans. He was overruled in the Senate's rushed debate, but his warnings rang true. Both Paul and Feingold saw the dangers early: mass surveillance, unchecked power, and profiling. They feared 802 and 805 would target innocent citizens, while 905 and 1015 would build a biometric spy net. Their dissent was a lone cry against a tidal wave of fear, but history proved them right. Edward Snowden's 2013 leaks exposed the Patriot Act's dark side. Section 215's bulk collection scooped up billions of phone records, not just terrorists. Section 505's NSLs targeted thousands of innocent Americans. 702 and 905 fueled the NSA's PRISM program, sharing your data across agencies with no oversight, violating privacy on a massive scale. Sections 802 and 805 hit hard, profiling Muslim and Sikh Americans as terrorists for donations or speech. ACLU reports by 2010 showed thousands flagged unjustly, their privacy and free speech crushed. Section 805's material support laws jailed people for humanitarian aid, as seen in 2010 court cases. 1015's DNA grabs added due process fears, building a biometric trap for suspects. In 2025, the Patriot Act's legacy lives on. The 2015 USA Freedom Act curbed 215's bulk collection, but targeted programs using 702 and 905 persist, tracking your emails and calls. Financial surveillance, born in 505, now monitors cryptocurrency. FinCEN flags your transfers, echoing 802's profiling. 1015's DNA push fueled biometric scanners at airports, raising new privacy and profiling fears. The Patriot Act reshaped America. From 215's bulk data grabs to 1015's DNA banks, it built a surveillance state that profiles, tracks, and controls. It violated privacy, free speech, and due process, handing the government power that Ron Paul and Russ Feingold warned us about in 2001. This law's damage is clear: mass surveillance, profiling, and unchecked power. It needs repeal now. The Patriot Act's core provisions, like 505 and 702, still threaten your rights. It's time for a return to transparency, oversight, and a return to constitutional freedoms. I'm Ryan Sahlberg, and this is Manifest History. What do you think of the Patriot Act? Comment below, and don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching.